Today I'm going to be reviewing The Tattooist of Auschwitz. It's by Heather Morris. So first of all, I just wanted to say that this is going to be quite difficult to review because I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm really sorry if anything comes across as cryptic. I'm going to just try my best to not spoil anything for you, but also to give enough information so you kind of know if you want to read this or not. So in 1942, Leo Sokolov arrived in Auschwitz. He was given the job of tattooing prisoners marked for survival, scratching numbers into his fellow victims' arms in ink to create what would become one of the most potent symbols of the Holocaust. Waiting in line to be tattooed, terrified and shaking, was a young girl. For Leo, a dandy, a Jack the Lad, a bit of a chancer, it was love at first sight. And he was determined not only to survive himself, but to ensure this woman, Gita, did too. So begins one of the most life-affirming, courageous and unforgettable and human stories of the Holocaust, the love story of the Tattooist of Auschwitz. So originally she wrote this as a screenplay, and she spent over 3 years interviewing Leo to get all the information for the book. So she does also make a big point of saying that it is a fictional book. Some of the characters are fictional and some of them she merged together. It's not 100% accurate account, but she has got a lot of backlash for it. Because according to Auschwitz Memorial, she has a lot of misinterpretations, she has understatements as well as exaggerations, and they're saying that it is not accurate enough. I found that a lot of people that are reviewing it as well are criticising her because it's not dark enough. Now, I personally think that the book is plenty dark. I know enough about concentration camps and working camps where I can fill in the gaps of her book. And usually books that are written about like the Holocaust are ridiculously dark and you just proper tearjerkers. And although I wouldn't go as far as to say hers was a tearjerker, it did make you very, very sad. I think there was enough information. And hopefully people that don't know much about the Holocaust or working on concentration camps, hopefully that they would be inspired after reading the book and want to go and find out and do their research into, you know, filling in those gaps as well. I personally really liked it, the fact that, I mean, it was dark, but it wasn't so dark that I couldn't stop crying, you know? Because ever since I've had a child, these eyes get really dramatic and like I'll be watching a commercial on TV and then all of a sudden my eyes leak because I saw a dog or something ridiculous. So I was really happy that I didn't have that with her book. Because her main focus, I get the impression, is to tell this love story about Lael and Gita. And I think that she very much accomplished it. I was absolutely hooked. I loved the book. I could not put it down. And it doesn't just follow kind of how he got into Auschwitz, but also what happened after. And she also has a foreword where she says about his life. She says about when she met him, how she came to write about him, when she went to go and visit where he was from. She also includes a kind of section which is a bit that was written by one of his loved ones as well. And I found by the end of the book already you felt just really in tune and in touch with Leo and you just absolutely adore him. But then just those little touches like that, I don't know, it really stuck in my head and I was thinking about it for days. And usually I find a sign of a good book is not that you're thinking, oh, why did I waste my time, you know, but you're actually thinking what happened, remembering the characters, if you could work anything else out. So I 100% would recommend this book personally. If you really want something that's really, really factual, you know, almost non-fiction-y, then perhaps this book is not for you. But if you want something, a kind of love story, but not to kind of like make you, because it's, you know, kind of like a romance novel or something, you know, if you want that kind of in between, then I would very much recommend this. I would rate it an 8 out of 10 because it, in my eyes, it wasn't perfect, but it was bloody marvellous. She also writes another book after, which is following another one of the characters called Silka, and I cannot wait to read that book. I'm really hooked. I'm really, really excited to find out what happens to her and everything from now her point of view. So the next book that I'm going to be reviewing is The Summer House by James Patterson. If you liked my review, please give it a wee like. Don't forget to subscribe and drop us a comment if you decide to read the books, what you thought of the books. I would love to hear about it, so just let me know. And I hope that you will see me again soon.